Essential Rules. Welcome to this section, in which we will address the essential rules you need to know regarding the handling of information, tools, and devices you use for your daily work in the organization. It is necessary that each coworker comply with these regulations regarding information security in order to prevent, safeguard, and protect data and information from any possible loss, theft, or any other form of tampering or damages. Some recommendations for the use of our passwords are: first, remember the password you use should have complexity. We suggest a combination of letters, numbers, and special characters. Also very important, the use of your username and password should always be handled confidentially. Some recommendations for the use of the Internet. Avoid using pages that could have a negative impact on the organization. Also, avoid using bandwidth-consuming systems and applications that are not allowed within our organization. Do not make personal use of the Internet. Other recommendations for the use of email are: avoid the sending and forwarding of spam. Avoid attaching very large files to a message or using your organizational email address for personal matters. Regarding antivirus protection, it is prohibited to download files or programs that are not allowed within the organization. Also, avoid accessing information, links, or websites with content that you are not sure about. We must remember that all confidential or strictly confidential information within our organization must be encrypted to ensure it will be transmitted safely. As we know, nowadays it is very common to use mobile devices. So in this case, it is recommended that these devices have some type of anti-theft protection, and also that the confidential information stored inside them is encrypted. Some recommendations regarding social engineering. This happens when people with malicious intentions try to hack or access information, either through phone calls, through the internet, or face-to-face. To prevent this, it is recommended to suspect unsolicited phone calls or emails from people requesting information about the organization. Regarding social networks, remember not to post any information that has been classified as sensitive or for confidential use, according to our standards of classification of information. And also not to mention colleagues and friends without permission. Most of all, you must protect information about SOS Children's Village's friends, donors, and partners. Regarding non-electronic information, make sure to store it in a secure and reliable manner. Some simple but very helpful tips on how to secure computer equipment are: first, the equipment you use should not be modified. Only hardware and software approved by the organization should be used. Also, remember that the ICT department has a service catalog detailing all systems and applications approved by the organization. To secure your workstation, we recommend you block it when you are not in front of the computer. This prevents outsiders from accessing information without authorization. You can block your computer by using the following combination of keys: Ctrl plus Alt plus Delete, or by pressing the Windows key and L. Compliance. Remember that all the damages caused by negligence can make a coworker liable, and the non-compliance of regulations can bring other legal consequences to their employment status. SOS Children's Villages has classified information in 4 levels. Public, information for public use. Sensitive, information for internal use only. Confidential, confidential use information. Strictly confidential. Dependent of its respective classification, data must be handled in accordance with corresponding policies, standards, and procedures. For example, processing, encryption, deletion, etc. For a better understanding, we can look at this table with the classification, a brief description, and some examples for each case. The first level of classification is public. This information is not of a sensitive nature for SOS Children's Villages and therefore does not need a label. The disclosure of this information will not cause any kind of damage to the organization. An example is all the information available in public domain of SOS, such as our organizational websites. Finance publications included KDI Annual Report including financial information, standards, policies, guidelines, good management and accountability quality standards, anti-fraud and anti-corruption guidelines. Statistics data shared with donors, beneficiary members. National statutes or documents proving the legal status of member associations or extraordinary agreements, for example, GSC Associates. Board lists. Another classification of information is sensitive. This type of information is for internal use only. Its disclosure does not represent a loss of reputation or embarrassment to SOS Children's Villages. External parties may find this information as a stepping stone to gather more sensitive information for unknown purposes. An example of this is the information available within our virtual collaboration platform. Agendas, calendar entries, construction tendering documents, Federation planning and steering documents, midterm and annual plans including high-level human and financial resource planning, MA annual reports, statistics including staff numbers, external financial audit reports. Only if MAs decide to or are obligated to publish external financial audit reports, partly published, for example, by SOS USA, then this would be public information. Travel reports and travel folders. Program and project previews and suggestions. Documents containing project data. The third classification is confidential information, which is also divided into confidential and strictly confidential information. Confidential information is sensitive, and if disclosed inappropriately, could cause damage or embarrassment and loss of reputation for SOS Children's Villages, its partners, or donors. This includes access granted only for a limited group of people or users, and/or both internally and/or externally, which has been defined by each competent center or area of work or organizational unit. Some examples of this type of information are child safeguarding reports containing number and type of incidents, child safeguarding audit reports before decision to release internally and/or externally, marketing concepts and strategies, finance data shared with all GSC staff and limited number of NA staff or PSA staff, confidential finance data, accessible for all GSC users worldwide for collaboration purposes, annual budgets, requests for transfers including account numbers, internal audit reports, CVI membership fee documents, internal finance reports not prepared for external use, crisis communications, documents and land deeds, campaign schedules, requests for finance, title deeds, land ownership documents, leasing agreements, and purchase agreements, meeting agendas and minutes, documents for governance meetings, risk registers, issues, or crisis management overview and related information. The last is strictly confidential information. This refers to highly sensitive information where unauthorized disclosure would have catastrophic impact for SOS Children's Villages. Such impact could be, for example, reputational damage causing brand devaluation, loss of public confidence, donor complaints and defection, loss of income or tangible punishment and fines. Access is granted only for a limited group of people or users and/or both internally and/or externally, which has been defined by each competent center or area of work or organizational unit in concert with the data protection officer. Some examples of this type of information are all manner of personal data, which relates to a living individual who can be identified from that data on its own or in combination with other data, for example, name, email address, job title, etc. Child safeguarding investigation reports. Documents containing child safeguarding and/or corruption allegations against employees. Documents containing testimonies of individuals in relation to child safeguarding incidents. Child safeguarding issues. Incidents in general and all related information to details of an incident. Personal data, for example, related to salary information, health information, address data, etc. Information regarding the safety of our ICT systems. Technical configuration details, internal IP addresses, access information, etc. Information security global policy. Information stored on e-roster. Legacies containing land deeds or testamentary gifts. PAT information. Staff contracts. Strictly confidential finance data. Bank and bank account information. Supporting documents for accounting, bills, invoices, etc. Internal audit reports, in case of fraud suspicions, including supporting incident papers. All information related to allegations, investigations, etc. All information related to child safeguarding. Now, you can continue with your training. Good luck.